Today's video is sponsored by Docking Bay 94, located in Boca Raton, Florida. Check us out on comicsandgames.com, as well as Ian's Display and Accessories, the best for vintage Star Wars and GIJoe. Shipping is nationwide. As well as Famous Faces and Funnies, located in Melbourne, Florida. And again, remember, for all three, shipping is nationwide. Welcome to another exciting episode of Codename Newtaviro 2. Hi, I'm your presenter, GIJoe. And wow, I'm doing another Transformers thing on the following week. Now, off of the success of the Earthraise Optimus Prime video that I did last week, I decided to look at another Earthraise figure. And we're going to look at Arcee. And before I begin, I would like to thank Rodimus Primal and Patriot Prime Reviews. Please click on the link and subscribe and follow their channel for a more in-depth look at Transformers, modern Transformers, more so than I could ever do. But I just want to give a basic overview as a non-mainstream Transformer guy and present these things to those like me that like G1 Transformers that might find this line advantageous to look into. Everyone in the GIJoe community, especially my followers, know of my female Cobra division. Truth is, I've always been fond of the female characters featured in our iconic Boys Line franchises. As a kid, I used them as ways to get my cousin more into my shows so we didn't have to fight over the remote. Now, as a married man, I like to include my wife as much as possible in this hobby. From the Baroness, Scarlet, to Teela and Chitara, they all start with none other than Princess Leia. Ironically, Arcee was designed by Floral Dairy on the assistance of the man who brought both GIJoe and Transformers to the small screen, Ron Friedman. He wanted to incorporate a female character as his own daughter was a big fan of Transformers. So after going back and forth with Hasbro, who was reluctant about this, he ultimately won and Arcee was born. Again, I highly recommend watching Rodimus Primal's coverage on Arcee's history. After getting Optimus's Earthraise figure, I actually targeted Arcee. She was one of the few characters that was heavily featured to not have a G1 figure. And since I'm conducting this mini-series within my normally GIJoe focused channel, I know, cause I heard from you, that also love and grew up with G1 and then sort of stopped after that. But yet, our hearts are still glued to the couch watching GIJoe and Transformers every day back to back. So that's why I wanted to do this. Since the time many of us fell off the Transformers, a lot more female characters have been introduced to the line. And in the War for Cybertron series, Alita 1 has been the primary female character, with Chromia following behind her. And Arcee so far has been sprinkled in here and there. However, to many of us, Arcee will always be the #1 female character in our hearts. So let's begin by looking at the box. And again, I really do like this box art. I think it's well done and I've been more than impressed with it. The back just shows that it's going to take 15 steps to transform this thing. And you're going to see I had a lot more problems doing this. And thank God I reached out to Rodimus Primal, who was helpful and showed me what to do. Again, I love this Earthraise art, showing it, the art crashing onto Earth. And Arcee looks really good. I mean, she looks just like the iconic G1 Transformers the movie character. I mean, her backpack is pretty huge, but we're going to get to that a little bit later. And I honestly decided to, because I'm a GIJoe guy, I wanted to compare to other female characters that are featured in the Hasbro line to give it an idea. Whoop, there that one goes. If you guys know that I'm terrible with that, but let's give it another try. So this is just a 360 of Arcee. And we got to address that bag pack. I think that's the one thing that, you know, holding this thing back. But surprisingly, she's pretty sturdy even with that thing on. So I was kind of shocked with that. And just to get the scope, this is our GIJoe figures from the vintage era. You see a Lady J is there. And then, of course, I bring up Star Wars Princess Leia just to get an idea. And she's way shorter than the Blackseries. And I know you guys hear Maya in the background. There's nothing I can do about that. But, yeah, she is pretty small in stature compared to those. So there's no way you could do a a believable crossover with any of these figures and her. She just does not fit into any of those. And even like I took out Ahsoka, and because I think Ahsoka is just a little bit in the Blackseries Ahsoka Tano, and she is just really short compared to all of them. So that's the only thing. You see, in scale with the Earthraise, that's really short. I mean, that's like Bumblebee level short to me. I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll ask Rodimus and all the other Transformer guys what they think. But when you watch their videos, this thing has a mixed bag with the reviews. And I finally figured out what the hell the decoder is for. I know when I did Earthraise, Optimus Prime, I didn't know what the hell it was for. But, you know, I got to credit the Transformers YouTube community. They are really helpful. They've treated me with so much open arms and welcome. And the decoder is like there's a map that is the backdrop with the inside the box. So it just decodes like the planets and solar systems. So that's pretty much what's Junkion was the other one. I don't know what these relate to. The Transformer guys would probably be better adequate than me. Anyway, so here we go with the pain in the ass transformation. Like I said, I struggled so much with this thing. Part of it is not being familiar with modern Transformers. But at the same time, like, you know, I'm going to give it a go. I mean, I got to use my intelligence somewhat. And but you could see, like, in the earlier shot, it was, like, during the day, and this is nighttime. I had to put it away because it was so frustrating to transform Arcee. And I'm looking at the map, and I'm trying to figure out, and this is the best I got. And then at this point, you see it's not perfect, but I'm like, screw it. It's close enough. So I'm not going to have her in vehicle mode that often. She's just going to be transformed and sitting on the shelf with the other modern Earthrise Transformers. So I was one and done. And then transforming back to robot mode, I struggled just as much. So I don't want that to deter anybody. But at the same time, for us G1 fans that kind of fell off the boat with you see, like, I just was stuck at the point where I actually had to get on Twitter and tweet Rodimus, hey, I need your help. But again, when you compare it to Optimus, I'm a little disappointed in the size comparison. I think she should be a little bit taller, but that's just me. But overall, the scope of it is fantastic. I mean, we never got a real Arcee figure. So to finally have Arcee is wonderful. And if you see, I'm pointing to that little thing there. That's basically like a little latch where you have to hold it in, and it takes the front end of the car off her back. And then you could use that as a stand. But I just put it away because I'm not going to have her stand on it. I don't think it'd be pointless. The other thing I want you guys to make note of is originally I said December 1st was going to be Earthraise. It's actually December 30th. So note that correction. Overall, I think I like this figure. I know the Transformer guys have a mixed bag with this, and I see their point 100%. But I think it's worth getting if you're able to find it. And I'm actually going to concentrate on the female Transformers just to add them. I guess that will be my niche in the modern Transformers collection. So anyway, this is GIJoe signing off.